There is something about rumors that can have a profound effect in the power sports industry. One of the best examples of this is the Polaris Fusion, a sled that over the years has garnered nicknames such as Confusion, and the backlash from the original 900 Fusion even prompted Polaris to drop the name completely. In 2007, they simply renamed the Fusion to the IQ and gave it a hood and belly pan makeover. 2007 also saw the mass introduction of Polaris fuel injector, known as CFI. This was a decent system at the time. However, the well-sorted and long-standing McCuney flat-side carbs found on previous 600s were arguably more dependable and problem-free. So what is it about the Fusion 600 that makes it such a good used sled bargain? To start, they are easily found in the used market for between $2,000 and $2,500. All of this can be had with under 4,000 miles. You would be hard-pressed to find a 2003 to 2006 Rev 600 or 500 for under $3,000. On top of that, the Fusion was the fastest 600cc sled in 2006. And well-sorted 600 HO Fusions are not uncommon to find ahead of 700 and some 800cc sleds from the same era for short bursts into the mid 80 mile per hour range. With a top speed in the mid to upper 90s, it is no slouch in the top end either. But power is no good if it doesn't get you home at the end of the day. And this is where the Fusion 600 stands out. Sleds in the mid-2000s were not the most dependable machines, with every manufacturer scrambling to produce higher horsepower, better emissions, and better handling chassis. There was a lot of new iron that was lucky to last one ride before issues popped up. The 900 Fusion was possibly the best example of this, but for every weakness the 900 had, a strength could be found in the 600. It combined a bulletproof and time-tested 600cc motor that pushed out over 120 horsepower and is good for 10,000 plus miles. It was mounted in a chassis that had the best big bump skid in the industry. All of these facts begs the question, why is the Fusion not a popular or well-respected machine? Simply put, the 900 killed the name and reputation for all Fusion models. To the average buyer, a quick internet search will come up with countless negative things and testimonies about the Fusion. And many ill-informed people will say to stay away from them all. Because of the new culture of forum search Monday through Friday and Craigslist buy on Saturday, the Fusion 600 HO has a very poor resale value. This makes it a spectacular bargain. However, every rose has its thorn, or thorns in this case. Although proving to be ultimately reliable, there are a few factory updates that need to be done to the Fusion. They include motor mounts and an updated chain case cover. These are free from a Polaris dealer. Also, they tend to exhibit a heavy, although precise, steering. A set of skis will remedy this problem. Mechanically, they are essentially bulletproof. However, the spark plug wires are prone to rubbing on the head of the engine. A few zip ties will easily fix that problem. And the power valves can give you some issues here and there. Just make sure you clean them and you should be fine. At the end of each review, I'm going to give each sled a Brat Media grade. This is based on 13 categories and it's split up into 2 sections. The grades are simply my opinion based on the time frame of the sled. The time frames break down as follows: 1990 to 1999, 2000 to 2007, 2008 to 2012, and 2012 to present. And first, we have the chassis. Big bumps. The IQ rear end was world class at the time for those 3-foot moguls that come out of nowhere. It gets a 9 out of 10. Stutters. Although it can feel stiff at times, most trail chatter is soaked up with no drama. 8 out of 10. Flat corners. One of the drawbacks of early rider-forward design was tippiness in corners. The IQ chassis was not the most tippy at the time, but inside ski lift was something to get used to. 6 out of 10. Bumpy corners. Stand up, lock your knees onto the seat, and let the sled do the work. This chassis is a star in moguled out tight corners. 9 out of 10. Ease of repair. Very straightforward design with very few hard to reach bolts. Not top of the class, but darn close. It earns an 8 out of 10. Steering. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Direct, but heavy, with little feedback and very minimal darting. It's heavy. 6 out of 10. And that all adds up to a total overall chassis score of 53 out of 70. Now we move on to the engine. Reliability. One of the most reliable two-strokes ever built. Simple and fairly gas efficient with extreme emphasis on oil efficiency. 8 out of 10. Longevity. It keeps going and going and going and going and going. 8 out of 10. Top speed. Best in the 600 class. However, it won't win many bouts across Kevlar Lake with larger displacement seds from the area. You're looking somewhere in the mid-90s for top end. 6 out of 10. Acceleration. This is where these sleds shock. It has a linear power band, similar to a 4-stroke, and instant mid-range response. 8 out of 10. Seat of the pants. Overall, it's a fun engine, but its smooth power band and quiet stock exhaust won't win any look at me contests. 6 out of 10. Ease of repair. The airbox is a pain in the butt, and the water pump requires engine removal. Luckily, the engine never breaks. 7 out of 10. And you add that all up, and it gets you a 96 out of 130. Not a bad score for our first sled. Next week, we're going to be reviewing a Yamaha Attack. Stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe. The more we grow the channel, the more things I'm going to be doing. And please let me know if you have any suggestions for following future videos.